number 2 of the Nielson Show. System crash is what happened. Computers, man. It happens. So out of Trev's control, he fixed it. Tom Gazzola, Jay Milne with you as we roll along. Luke Gazdic standing by, NHL analyst and former Oiler and friend. Not former friend, just friend. Is ready to rock as we go to Gaz. We don't have Gaz? What's wrong?
Apparently audio's not coming through, so
he can't hear us.
He can't hear us? Okay, well, we're
Wait. Yeah, we're good.
Thumbs up, double thumbs up. Let's bring in Luke Gazdic. Good morning, Gaz. Sorry about the system crash, pal. We're a little bit late, but how you doing?
I'm good. What a pleasure. Expecting to see Dustin Nielsen, and I see my old buddy Tommy Gaz.
Oh yeah, it's always good to see you. But yeah, Big Daddy Davos getting the week off, getting a little bit of family time. He was calling the Spengler Cup. A crazy tournament. Joaquin Gage was talking about playing in it. I think Sean Bell said he played in it as well when he was with Mannheim. It sounds like it's like a really good time and a great party, Gaz. I don't know if a lot of guys that went over there and played in it, but it's kind of a neat tournament. Did anybody keep tabs on the Spengler when you were playing?
100%. It's something I think within the community of players and guys that I played with that everyone wanted to knock off at some point in their career. I knew a bunch of guys on that team right now.
Yeah.
Colton Sevier, Jordy Ben, I both played and lived with in the minors. And every year, man, I loved seeing the roster come out and seeing names you haven't heard from in a while.
Yes.
It's just such a cool tournament, man. I was very envious of Dusty. He's following his Twitter along the whole way. So yeah, it was cool.
Yeah. He last year he went there and he was frustrated because he couldn't find chicken fingers and fries on any menus. So
yeah, he's got to adapt to the Swiss food, man. He can't be hammering down chicken tendies. This isn't Rogers.
No, it's not. Luke Gazdic joining us. Tom Gazzola, Jay Milne in for Eric at Dusty. YouTube Trev fixed everything, so people freaking out in the nasty chat. No, he didn't break it. He fixed it. That's how good YouTube Trev is. Gaz, quiet night in the NHL yesterday, just a couple of games. And listen, when the Maple Leafs do anything, we have to hear about it out west. As you know, you're in the center of the hockey universe, Toronto itself. But a lot of what we're hearing about the Maple Leafs is the stuff that we were talking about here in Edmonton like a month and a half ago with goaltending. And what's your take on, the goaltending market? Because, it sounds like every team out there wants to bolster their netminders, including Toronto, even still here in Edmonton. But when I hear Jake Allen's name, I don't get excited. What do you make of the goaltending situation, A, with the Leafs, and B, around the National Hockey League?
Yeah, honestly, at the start of the year when they were, I would say both struggling, especially in the crease, I saw a lot of similarities between the two teams. But the more we go on here and the more games I watch and see these two teams play, they're very different. Mm-hmm. I think the Oilers have, really come a long way in terms of playing together. And that's the thing I don't see with the Leafs. It's probably the team I watch the most is Toronto here. And they don't look like a team most nights. It looks like a very top heavy, offensively skilled team. The goaltending issues are a mess. And thankfully they have a veteran in Martin Jones that has stepped in and is making some key saves. But I don't know. This Toronto team just isn't it for me. It really isn't. I don't love how, they don't play hard enough. I love the way the Oilers are playing these days, and the Leafs drive me nuts.
Speaking of the Oil, and I know you're on the broadcast as well, the way they have come together here, the way that they've put together really lengthy streaks of wins, is this team, in your eyes, becoming the one everyone thought it was supposed to be heading into the season?
Yeah, I think so. I think the Sharks game the other night, that was the game I think we thought we were going to see the first time. I didn't think it would take this long for them to kind of turn it around and figure it out. I'm not going to lie, man. When they made that coaching change, I don't want to say that I didn't think enough of it, but I always don't think coaching is necessarily the issue. And that really put a fire under them. And I think what Knobs has been able to accomplish with these guys is pretty special, but they've really turned it around. And honestly, they're feeling good now. Guys are playing confident. I think Knobs is allowing everyone to kind of feel important and really roll all these lines, and guys getting individual performances. The D-core looks night and day. Skins and Net looks just way more confident and just looks like he's feeling it a lot more. But yeah, I think they're still flawed, right? They're not perfect.
No.
I think they could use upgrades at a couple spots in their lineups, but you got to stay positive when you can. And honestly, from the get-go, this is more of what I thought this team was going to be, especially McDavid, especially 97. I remember saying to David Amber at the office really early in the year at the studio, I was like, this kid's going to break every single record known to man. And I think it just took longer than most people thought. Was probably dealing with something, but man, just an absolute masterclass by him in the last game. One of the best, 60-minute performances I've seen from him in a long time.
Yeah, he was lights out the other night. Luke Gazdic joining us now. You can catch him on NHL broadcasts, Oilers broadcasts as well. You can see him and hear from him on the Mitsoff podcast too. Gaz, one quick one before we get to Jay, because I know Jay wants to talk to you as well, but someone asked about what's going on with Evander Kane, and I was like, hey, listen, like, he's been nicked up. His groin was an issue. He didn't play last week against LA. They weren't sure if he was going to play Friday against the Ducks. He did play in that game. We saw an emergency recall from Raphael Lavoie, but then the follow-up was from that texter saying, I was referring to Kane's attitude, not complaining about it, just noticed the lack of celebration, general lack of seeing happiness. And Kane has said a couple of things in interviews. The other day, last week, he said something about, I was trying to do this in limited minutes. He played like 14:40 that night. I remember talking about it on the post-game show. And I'm like, he only played like 3 minutes less than he normally does. And then earlier in the season against Milne, he made a comment to Gene in the walk-off interview. And then he popped off for the next couple of weeks. I think he scored 8 goals in an 8-game stretch. When a guy like Evander Kane has the history that he does, and you hear something like that, what do you make of it?
I mean, you're always going to have teammates like that. I had teammates like that all the way through my career, whether it was in the minors or in the National Hockey League, where their individual play affects everything that they do, including off the ice, on the ice, games, practices, and it can be challenging at times to navigate. I found myself in a leadership role in a lot of teams and trying to be that guy that was trying to keep everyone looking positive and looking forward. And yeah, I've just seen it a lot where if a guy starts slumping, and especially if he stops scoring, if you're a goal scorer that's supposed to be, getting paid to score goals and he isn't scoring goals, his kind of attitude starts to, bleed into everybody else. And that is a problem that if it continues and it's as visible as it is, I would expect guys in leadership roles, including the captain, to be addressing that. Just because if you're on a 6-game heater and you got guys playing outstanding and the team's rolling and you want to put yourself at the forefront with your ice time and your lack of production, it's no bueno for me. I had no time for stuff like that, especially with the team playing so well. I don't want to say it's understandable if the team's losing, but it's easier to understand if the team's losing. But when your team's on a 6-game heater, there should be nothing negative coming out of anybody's mouth.
Yeah. And
that's just my personal opinion. I would expect that if Connor got wind of that or starts to see a bit of that can be something that people in leadership roles in that dressing room can address internally.
Yeah. Well said. From one glue guy on the Oilers roster to a glue guy in the EST roster. Go ahead, Jay.
Love meeting and speaking to another glue guy like you guys. It means a lot to me. And the chat's coming in. It's unanimous that everybody wants your take on the potential Nylander signing in Toronto and how that's going to hamper the Leafs down the road for potentially signing goaltending.
Yeah.
What's your take on that? Because our listeners want to know.
William Nylander is an outstanding hockey player, one of the most talented I've seen in a Leaf uniform. But if they sign him to over an $11 million contract, they're not going to win anything. I think they have John Tavares coming off the books after next year, so they could possibly re-sign him and find that money. But if you're paying at one point 4 guys on your team over 11 sheets, I just don't think that's the formula for a winning team. I don't fancy myself to be a GM or an expert in these things, but I just can't help but think that money could be used elsewhere to improve your blue line, to improve your depth. In saying that, William Nylander also drives me nuts in the way he plays. He's just, so kind of lackadaisical sometimes. But in the past year, he's been one of the only guys that showed up in the playoffs and produced and scored. The big boys disappeared last year, and Willie was really the only guy to come through in the playoffs. I'm not going to lie. If it's me, Mitch Marner is probably the man out for me. I think he has a full no move, but I mean, I would be probably looking to move Mitchie before I'd be looking to move Willie. Willie's just been that good. Like, I don't know how much Leaf hockey you guys watch. We'll see them here coming in soon. But he's just outstandingly talented. He just has absolutely no grit to his game whatsoever, which drives me nuts at times.
Understandable, especially for you. Gaz, I'll piggyback on the Nylander stuff. I'm looking at him, and especially how hot he started and continues to roll, and I'm going, contract year. Funny that. And I always, and this is just me, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that go, well, is it a contract year? And when guys start to play with that extra motivation, I get a little bit leery naturally, and I want to give guys the benefit of the doubt. But, that contract year, guys playing for big money, to me, that might be a character flaw. I don't know how you look at it, because you were in the game, these guys, you're in the locker room, and it's a different dynamic knowing it from that angle.
Yeah, I don't think you're far off, though. I think it can be a lot easier to play when you're in year 4 of 7 at 11 per than if you're in your last year of your deal. I know. Wow, this is a great question, Tommy, because I've seen a couple guys on long-term deals, but you really think the character of the person, it shouldn't affect in the way it does, but it's playing a huge part in his game. Yeah, I can guarantee you, especially with the type of guy he is and the way he plays the game, it's 100% a huge factor in why he's performing so well.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't. You're right? Like, guys should want to show up to the rink and play every game like it's the last of their contract, but it's just not the way it is, especially with NHL players.
Yeah, absolutely. Luke Gazdic joining us now. You can catch him on the Mitts Off podcast as well as NHL broadcasts on Sportsnet. Did you want to go at Luke for one more?
I want your take on what's gone on here recently with Pietrangelo. With a couple nights ago, he takes another two-handed whack at a skate of a Kraken player. Oilers fans are obviously a little sensitive to that because we had that happen to our star player and Leon Draisaitl last year in the playoffs. Is that something that it's talked about in locker rooms? I'm self-proclaimed not the biggest hockey guy, so I want to know, is that something that's around the league? This guy's doing this on purpose? Do you think it's just happenstance? Is that something that's talked about in locker rooms?
Yeah, he's been doing that since I was in the league. It's just the more, I don't want to say technology, but the more camera phones we have at the rink cameras catching stuff, putting it on Twitter, it going viral. People are just starting to see stuff like this now. That was well known. Like, even me as the enforcer of the team, leading the team in fights. If I went to the front of the net versus Petro in 2014, I was getting an absolute beatdown with his twig. Yeah. Like, he's been doing that dirty stuff for a long time. And in my opinion, he needs a real good tuning in by one of these, especially Oiler players coming down here. And I think the Oilers guys haven't forgot that last year. I think that's still in the back of their minds. But no, him along with a couple other players in the league, especially defensemen, Ben Sherratt's a name that comes to mind as well, was guys that know when the refs aren't looking, know when you come to the front of the net. You get stuff like that all the time. And Petro's a guy that would, before games, whenever we played the Blues, it would be a conversation about that. Like, this guy's nasty. Like, don't take a retaliatory. He's going to get you at some point. Like, that's been the MO on him for years. And I think he just comes off as this like pristine captain, stands behind the mic, speaks very calmly and politically, and plays the poor me all the time. But no, some of these guys have some real bark to them that I think people are just starting to really see now.
So we need some self-policing done, is what you're saying.
Or some outside policing.
I would love that. Yeah, exactly.
Gaz, I had no idea. I thought I was sold hook, line, and sinker. I'm like, Pietrangelo is just a classy guy. And then, that popped off. And if you guys were talking about it 8 years ago, geez, okay. 10 years ago even. My goodness. Last one for you, Gaz. The Ottawa Senators, front office shuffle after a coaching change, Jacques Martin. I know that there's so many things that a new owner needs to do to get a franchise back on track. I know they need a new arena. Playing in Canada sucks. Remember when we would go out there, we'd be at that hotel and there's nothing to do. Not that that's something to really complain about, but there's a lot of issues with the Sens, and it looks like Andlauer is putting this plan into place. And Noodles yesterday says, hey, there's like 10 steps that need to happen with the Sens. They might be at step number 3, but I think there was way more hope for this team this year, and it's not happening. What's your take on what's going on in the nation's capital?
Yeah, staying at the old Brook Street, out in Canada. No, honestly, man, I'm going to tread lightly here, but growing up in Toronto and having this rivalry just down the road, but also the backlash that I've taken this year on social media from salty Senators fans has really left a sour taste in my mouth.
I'm sorry.
And there is not a team in the NHL that I am loving seeing burn in flames more than the Ottawa Senators.
Love it. Treading lightly, indeed.
So, and this is me probably being calmer, but before the year, it's like everyone's like, this is the year the Ottawa Senators are going to, even people talking about challenging the Leafs for being up in the Atlantic Division. And I'm like,
come on,
why? What are you seeing that I'm not? I didn't understand it. Like, is Korpisalo's not that good?
No.
They have a good young core of guys, but is Giroux your game breaker? Is Stützle your game breaker? Good young D, Thomas Chabot, Sanderson, both skate well, but like, I remember thinking them in Buffalo, everyone are like, what? I'm like, why do you think that? Like, and I think we're just seeing a team now that they have a lot of work to do. They have some really good individual players, but they are not a great team. And I don't see much structure to their game. I love Mikey Andlauer. He's a friend of mine as well. I've met him many times, and I think he has his hands full with them. Steve Staios, incredible hockey guy and hockey mind, but they have a lot of work to do ahead of them. But like I said, man, I've made a couple comments on TV this year about the Sens, and I've realized that their fan base is one of the most annoying in the NHL, I'll say. So I'm not minding seeing the Sens really struggling this year, and I hope the Oil put an absolute beat down on them on Saturday.
It could happen. Gaz, you are one of the classy individuals in the National Hockey League. You were nasty on the ice when you had to be, but off the ice, one of the best. It's always great to catch up with you. Thank you for putting up with the technical difficulties, and I will talk to you soon here, pal.
All right. Thanks, guys. Go Oil.
That is Luke Gazdic. Catch him off on the Mitts Off podcast as well as Rogers Sportsnet broadcast. You can see him on Oilers broadcast. He's become a great analyst, honestly.
Awesome.
I knew he would be. Like,
you know why, though?
Talk to him all the time.
The honesty.
Yeah.
There's honesty in that voice. There's honesty in his conviction.
Personality,
right?
too.
Absolutely.
And he's smart.
Because that comes through. If you're BSing and saying whatever everybody wants to hear, it's mundane. But if you're telling the truth, if you're treading lightly about the Ottawa Senators and their situation, lightly. I love that. Good for you.
Gaz is one of the great ones. And,
absolutely,
he's going to be a good broadcaster for a long, long time in the league for sure. No surprise whatsoever. Of course, EST Hockey Insiders, always brought to you by Pro-Am Sports, your locally owned sports memorabilia and apparel specialist. Gift cards are available now. They can be used in-store or online, and they never expire. Located in Edmonton at St. Albert Trail and 128th Ave, online at proamsports.ca. Tell them Dusty sent ya. Go see Jack and Ken and the fabulous crew over at Pro-Am. Maybe time for a new toque if it gets colder.
Just saw them the other day.
Oh.
Yeah.
What'd you get? Anything?
No, I want to get some stuff for the kids, but they didn't have much in kids. I guess it sells out quite fast.
Yeah.
I drive by there all the time, so I'm just going to stop in another day.
They'll take care of you.
They do.
If you have needs, they're good.
They told me that I'm going to get a glue discount.
Hell yeah, you will. EST Glue Guy in for Lieutenant Eric Gazzola, in for Dusty on the Nielsen Show. To all the nasties, sorry about the technical difficulties, computer crash, system crash. That's out of our hands. Trev fixed it. We are good to go. Time now for another sports update with EST Glue Guy, Jay Milne.
All right, time now for a sports update presented by Park Mazda. And Mitch Lewicki, we can't forget about Mitch. He learned a while back that if he does not text 911, people do not return his calls. But people always return his calls when they think something horrible has happened. That's Mitch Lewicki from Park Mazda.
Yeah.
It was a quiet night in the NHL last night. Austin Matthews tallied the OT winner as the Leafs beat the Ducks. The Devils managed to double up the Capitals in the other game. Lane Peterson scored twice as the Bakersfield Condors rallied from a 3-goal deficit in the third period to defeat the Abbotsford Canucks in a shootout 6-5. Olivier Rodrigue stopped 27 of 32 shots to improve his record to 6-2-3 this season. In the WHL, the Edmonton Oil Kings continue to ride a heater to 5-0-1 in their last 6 games after defeating the Kamloops Blazers 3-1. The Oil Kings continue their 7-game road trip in Kelowna on Friday before wrapping it up in Calgary on Sunday. Minnesota defeats Boston 3-2 in PWHL action as the last 2 teams hit the ice in the brand new league. Toronto visits New York on Friday as the first full week of the new Women's Hockey League continues. EST weather. Today, the forecast calls for mainly sunny skies with a high of -4 and a low of -8 overnight as we move towards the weekend. Currently, it is -8 with overcast conditions. This sports update was brought to you by Park Mazda and brought to you by the staff at Park Mazda and Mitch Lewicki. My name is Jay Milne, and you're up to date.
Yes, sir. Well done, Jay Milne.
Hi there.
Yes.
If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you can afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki with like a giant eagle's wings and singing lead vocals for Lynyrd Skynyrd with like an angel band. And I'm in the crowd hammered drunk.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
Good stuff there. I forgot about the Park Mazda commercial. My bad. No, that's your. Yeah, I'll blame you.
No, that's on me.
That's on me.
I cut you off. I'm sorry.
No. I was just giving him props for a good sports update.
It was another good one.
There's a lot of talk right now about you, right?
Yeah,
YouTube, Trev.
I see that. But
what's going on?
You know what happened? Honest to God, I'm looking at the screen, and next thing I know, it's black. So I didn't do anything. I don't know. So I'm sorry about that. Yeah, that sucked. But the good thing is we're back on. It's live. We're live, baby. And yeah, to the comments, just simmer down. It's all good. I'm sorry, guys.
A lot of good text coming in. Paris Jewelers inbox 780-218-9999. Bone says Gazdic has crashed a ton of parties and more than a few. Oh, I'm not reading that. Now he crashed a radio station.
You can imagine what other things he's crashed.
Yeah. Bones. Also says he's caved in a few faces too. Maybe I misinterpreted that, but well done, Bones. Also, there was a text of the day candidate from Rusty Shackelford. Says, has a Wanix recorded whale mating sounds for his shoulder wrecked the stream this morning? I don't think he's gone the Aaron Rodgers route. I think Owanik's more sensible than that.
I do agree.
Logical too. Anyway. Vats Van Vandervan says, so what Leeds need is responsible forwards like a Hyman type, or the Leafs need is a responsible forward like a Hyman type, or steady D-man like a CC type. Yeah, that's true. Gaz was spitting fire this morning.
Straight fire.
Yeah, Oily Sink says, Gaz has got them eyes. Dan Spence says, Gaz spitting fire. Yeah, absolutely. Do Fish P says, -30 forecast next week. Good time for a toque from Pro-Am.
Good time for a toque.
There we go. Yeah, you are taking some heat today, Trev, on the nasty chat.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah. We do have Ian Rapoport, NFL Insider, coming up shortly. And we will have 3 questions too many, kind of easy trivia. If you do have any questions for myself or the EST glue guy, Jay Milne, or even YouTube, Trev, fire them our way. Paris Jewelers inbox 780-218-9999.
If you guys have anything you want to suggest to ask Rapoport, please, because this is the voice of NFL.
Yeah,
this is the guy. So if you have anything, I did put it out on Twitter last night, so thank you for those that got back to me. I'm going to
You have a bunch together. Do you want to carry this one? I'll
no.
tee it up. Oh, you don't? Okay.
No, I don't. No.
Well, when we get him on here, we'll fire some
I told
questions.
you earlier, and I'm kind of scared.
Why?
Well, he's Ian Rapoport, for God's sake.
He's a dude that likes sports just like you and me.
Fine, Tom. I'm not carrying it, though.
Big thank you to our partners at A&W as well. You can get the spicy dill pickle burgers. They got the Buddy Burger for $3.99, and they got the spicy dill Mama Burger $5.99 at A&W. Just wanted to get that.
Buddy Burger's legendary.
I didn't even know about the Buddy Burger until
you gotta like onions,
Troy brought
though.
them in. Yeah, I'm fine with onions, but like
sautéed.
Yeah, sautéed.
Like they're lovely onions. Those onions work.
Sautéed to perfection, you're saying?
To perfection. Double Buddy Burger's the one.
Well, we gave Trev like 16 Buddy Burgers when we had the watch party.
The JBCs. It was the JBCs.
Oh, was it JBCs? Well,
I think
Troy
I threw in
burgers.
like 2 of the Buddy Burgers.
And you said your stomach was killing you?
Yeah, it was. I felt bad. Like LT just kept giving them to me, and I'm like,
it was hilarious.
Yeah, he was laughing. Yeah, he liked that a lot. But I have a hard time saying no, and he was just like, "Here, have another," and I'm like, "Okay."
Well,
but,
let's consider what happened in that situation. They had Sobeys Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week that morning. Okay, it's Friday. Everybody's in a good mood. We're doing a big watch party here. EST glue guy Jay Milne's coming in. You brought I think you had a good spread that you brought in that morning, or you brought in some snacks.
That was draft day, so that was my first draft.
Yeah,
so
right.
I brought a charcuterie board.
Yeah, I remember that. And you brought it from Italian Center Shop. Delicious.
Yeah.
Anyway, we had a ton of food. Eric had a few libations early in the morning, probably empty-ish stomach. And Troy bought some Buddy Burgers, brought in like a bag of like 15 of them. And there was only like 7.
T-Roy always comes in hot.
T-Roy doesn't mess around with that kind of thing. And then we had some Popeyes as well. We were sampling the 6 o'clocker lager at that point, which continues to be a smash hit. And thank you to everyone who's tried it and continues to support that. We really, really appreciate it. And you had a couple of JBCs. You had Buddy Burgers. And then Eric kept going into the bag and bringing you more, and you kept taking them.
he just kept putting them on my lap, and I'm like, "Okay, here goes another." I think I finished
5.
5. Yeah, it was 5.
And the last 2 were warmed up.
Yeah. And with
Remember?
chips. Yeah,
Right?
you
Is
said
that
put
you
some
that did
chips
that?
on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was 5's the record, but yeah, JBCs. I had some again last night. I'm not gonna lie. I've been on a heater.
Oh, coming out, huh?
Yeah.
You've turned into a JBC guy.
Huge
What about
JBC.
Donairs? Have you went back to the well on Donairs?
Only when Tommy, when it's an away game, and me and Tommy will, or Tommy and I will.
We found a new
Partake.
spot like that's right by our studio.
Okay.
It's called Just Donair. They do a great job.
I wonder what they sell there.
Not just Donair. It's actually the menu is
There's
quite-
everything in a
quite
Donair shop.
Expansive.
You know what? If it's a really good Donair
is a
shop,
good Donair shop.
they have chicken tenders, they have matzo sticks, they have onion rings for sure.
Yeah, they have all that, but they also have like a lot of Lebanese
Shawarmas?
shawarma. There's other items. It's like a hidden gem. I was like,
That
this
sounds
is great.
like-
And the Donair is rock solid.
It sounds like just Donair to me.
Yeah, that's the name of it, but it's just a false front. But the Donairs, if you just have the Donair, A-OK.
Yeah, shout out to the iced coffee, fellas. I rock iced coffees. I had to get a real coffee this morning because I was a little chilled. But whenever I come in and do the morning show, I do 2 coffees. One to get me going, and then this one to carry me through. Here, solidarity. This is for all the iced coffee lovers out there.
All right. No Ian Rapoport? All right.
No answer. I'm just trying to think. He might be coming in on the 3rd hour.
Okay. What time do we usually? I thought it was 7:40.
So, yeah, like it switches. Sometimes he is in the 2nd hour, and then others he's at 8:20.
Oh, maybe he's 8:20. All right. Well, then we can switch things up too. We can go with I got beef. Do you have some beef? Did you think of something?
No, I haven't yet. I have beef with the name Just Don't Airs. There.
No, they're lovely people. They're great.
I know, but
And the people there are fantastic.
you could say anything but Just Don't Airs.
Around here, as you know.
It's a joke. It's a joke.
Yeah,
okay?
I know.
Okay.
I know what you're saying. Let's do I got beef. Can we do I got beef?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's do I got beef because we didn't get to it yesterday. Let's get to it today. I got beef for Acme Meats. Eat fresh, eat local, eat Acme. Go say hi to Corey the Butcher. I got beef. This one's been really grinding my gears lately. The drivers in our city. And I know this is going to the well, but like during the morning commute, which I hadn't been a part of for many, many years, but now like with the hangout and going on the hangout, I'm with you. Solidarity to all of those putting up with the crap drivers in our city. I'm talking about the people that don't signal. I'm talking about people that go slower than the posted speed limit. I'm talking about the people that don't know how to negotiate a traffic circle. These are simple concepts that we have not figured out. If you don't know it, get off the road. Take a driver's test. Go to driving school. It is so bad in our city. And I'm going to throw one more in there. If you're on the highway, get out of the damn left lane if you're going slow.
Preach! Preach!
I just needed to get that off my chest because it pisses me off so much,
Sorry if I
especially
blew your ears off.
in rush hour. What are we doing out there, peeps?
What are we doing?
What are we doing out there, peeps? If you got beef, hit us up. Paris Jewelers inbox, 780-218-9999. And also in the nasty chat, I am just blown away by the slow drivers. 60. Go 60. 50. Do 50. Don't go 40. Don't go 35. When you're going into a traffic circle, hit the left blinker. If you're about to exit, hit the right blinker. If you're in the outside lane, do not go the extra turn because you're not supposed to. You're either in the first one or the second one. It's simple. It's in the guidebook, and your driving teacher probably taught you it. Don't be that jackass.
Preach.
That's my beef. I just needed to get off my chest because I've been doing the morning commutes now for the hangout, and I'm just like, what are you guys doing?
Well, there's a couple real bangers here that came in on the nasty chat too.
Oh, and one more.
Yeah. Go.
The zipper merge.
Oh yeah, that's
Use
one
it.
of them.
Don't be a jackass.
Don't
be
be
courteous
that guy.
out there.
Be courteous. Let him in. And if
Tom.
I let you in,
Wave.
you in, you wave. You make
That's
sure
it.
you wave.
That's it. In the
It's
rear view.
simple. It's courteous. I just let you in as a sign of goodwill.
Yeah.
For you not to wave is blatantly, it's just like spitting in my face, and I don't like it. So you wave. And yes, the merge lane is a merge lane for a reason, folks. Let's not forget to merge. That is the reason you're in the merge lane. Do not stop. That's how people get killed.
Good point. Let's not do that.
Let's not do that.
Let's not do that.
Yeah.
That felt good. All right.
I got beef.
Go AST glue guy.
I got beef.
Let's hear it.
This one's deep. This one cuts deep. You know those, you saw them all over Instagram, Facebook, I'm sure leading up to the holiday season. There are these styrofoam or foam basketballs
Yeah.
that are supposed to dribble like a real basketball, but they're meant for indoor use.
Correct.
They're from the Hush handles.
Okay.
Okay. So I spent way too much money on 3 of these damn things. And I purchased them because I have 3 daughters who love basketball. So I thought, what a great way to work on our handles inside the house without driving mom and dad crazy.
Right.
I thought, geez, this is, and they literally showed it dropping from a balcony, hitting the ground and coming back up.
Yep.
Like the premise is that this is like a real basketball. I ordered it October 28th.
Okay.
I got it 2 days ago. My package of 3 basketballs. So
Seriously?
Christmas, like I ordered it on October 28th for Christmas.
Right.
Nope. Didn't come till 2 days ago, and they don't bounce worth a damn.
Really?
They barely get back up to you on the ground. So hush handle. I don't like it. I feel like I was betrayed. I feel like the advertising is a little bit misleading because those things do not bounce like they say or show in the advertisement. So that's my beef.
Well done. Well done. Harry Manback says, how about those expletives that slam on their brakes on a freeway where people are doing 80 to let in the you-know-what who stopped in the merge lane? Yes, Harry Manback, there's a lot of problems on the roadways for sure. Paul says, fellas, I got beef. There's a direct correlation between vanity license plates and trash drivers. Avoid at all costs. And then Kyle the Embalmer says, now you are late to work every day. Yeah, I'm not. That's a running gag. But that is I Got Beef for Acme Meats. Eat fresh, eat local, eat Acme. Go see Corey the Butcher. We do have Ian Rapoport. He's ready to go. NFL Insider joining us here on the Nielsen Show. Tom Gazzola in for Dusty. Gets the week off after coming back from Switzerland, doing great work on the Spengler Cup broadcast. EST glue guy Jay Milne in for Lieutenant Eric. Eric fighting a nasty cold. Hopefully he's back tomorrow. We're not sure. But if not, he and Dusty will be back on Monday. Let's bring in Ian Rapoport as Week 18 gets going. Saturday, there's lots of big games, Ian, with playoff implications, obviously. I'll just start with this. Like, which ones stand out to you? Do you like Pittsburgh's chances against the Ravens team not starting Lamar? And who do you think has the edge in the winner-go-home scenario with the Texans and Colts?
We'll start with the Steelers one. Really fascinating game. If the Steelers win, they're not guaranteed to be in the playoffs. I think it's like a 65% chance.
Yeah.
They have a good chance, but it's not guaranteed. But, honestly, if it's not 100%, then we've seen crazy things happen in Week 18, even crazier than Week 1. I always think Week 1 is the craziest, but, Week 18 seems to be just as crazy. The fact that the Ravens are not playing Lamar Jackson or resting all their injured guys, obviously is a good sign for the Steelers. And it really does kind of like show that if you just stay alive, good things will happen. I think the fact that Mason Rudolph is somehow the hot hand is really interesting to me. And, I'm looking forward to that one. And I think for the Texans, they get CJ Stroud back last week, look better, get a nice win. I mean, that's, they probably should win, I think, based on just where they are. Colts have had a great season anyway, but just don't seem to have that kind of talent level. And, I would also say, if you're the Texans and, you got CJ Stroud and he's playing as well as he is, you're a dangerous team in the playoffs. So I would say the Texans, by having the better quarterback and being more dangerous in the playoffs, probably should win, but I'm really looking forward to both those games.
Ian, who do you see right now as the front runner for the NFL Rookie of the Year? I know last time we had you on, you meant like with the MVP race that it's become a quarterback-driven award.
Yeah.
C.J. Stroud's got to be up there. Jalen Carter in Philly, obviously Puka Nacua, who leads the NFL in receptions, second only to Tyreek Hill. Who do you see is coming out of here as the front runner?
Awards are tough because they're on the whim of 50 sports writers. But to me, I think Puka Nacua makes a lot of sense. CJ Stroud is awesome, had an incredible year, and is a quarterback, so it does sort of get the natural advantage of being a quarterback. But I would say the fact that Puka was healthy for every game, probably going to break the receptions record, is, one of the huge engines of one of the most surprising and resurgent teams in the NFL. That to me, I think is, one that makes sense. I mean, he has been an unbelievable story from literally nowhere, late round pick to where he is. I think that's too big of a story to ignore.
Yeah, absolutely. Ian, we saw Dalvin Cook and the Jets mutually part ways, and I know they want to get him on board with, or he wants to get on board with a team that could contend for the Super Bowl. Where are some potential landing spots for him? I know he's been limited in his touches this season. That hasn't really worked out in New York, but where or what are you hearing in regard to where Cook might end up?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a tough thing because, you know, he has a name that we know, but the actual production's been pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, 3.2 yards per rush. And, you know, Aaron Rodgers goes down. I mean, his usage should increase, not decrease. But instead, it decreases. And, you know, I think probably spent a month getting into shape. That certainly did not help. You know, DNP last week, that probably did not help. So, you know, I have a hard time imagining he had claimed it, but you never know. I guess it's possible. And, you know, I would say the teams that I would expect to be interested are some of the playoff teams who've been interested in the past. You know, the Dolphins and Ravens, both were among the teams who had some interest in him. You know, Dolphins have had some injuries at running back. So I think that would make sense if they think he can help them. And I think, you know, that's one of the toughest things is like when they were all interested in him, he was, you know, a running back coming off a lot of carries and a free agent and makes $7 billion. Now the most recent film of him is very bad. So it's like, are you sure you want that on your roster? So my guess is he ends up as a practice squad player somewhere and, you know, has the opportunity to fight his way on the field.
Ian, you know, I've been watching the NFL a long time. Big NFL fan. Love the game. It's my favorite sporting endeavor out there. Now, you know, this year has been highlighted, you know, at least to me, it seems like it's been more of an issue with the overall product. You know, what's a catch? What's a fumble? What's an illegal hit? What's a pass interference? And not to, you know, what happened and was highlighted in the Detroit Cowboys game last week with the blown
Who checked in?
player who checked in. Is there any concerns from the NFL about the overall product going forward?
You know, I think it's always a final. The Players Association, the players fight for is more time off, right? More time off in the off season. You know, voluntary OTs are truly voluntary, and mini camps are kind of like and you know, there's the off season conditioning, which is sort of and you know, more time off. And I definitely get it. And they've also fought for fewer practices, fewer practices in general, and helps the players have regular lives. That is all positive. But I think what it has done is taken away a little bit of the, you know, quality of actual football that we've seen. And I think that's hard. You know, the refereeing has been, I think for the most part, okay. You know, it's like this every year where there's a couple really, really high profile calls that sort of like dictate the conversation. You know, in the Lions Cowboys one, you know, I'm not even sure that the refs were wrong there because to me, like the Lions sent 3 guys out at the ref, hoping for confusion, got confusion. Everybody was confused. The refs actually announced, seems the wrong player than the Lions wanted, but like a player comes onto the field and he's reported as eligible 7 previous times in the game. You know, the ref is to assume he's reporting again, despite the fact that there's 2 other players in front of him. Like, to me, like, if you're the Lions and you go for deception and the answer is deception, it's tough to then blame the ref. Well, like, you didn't get it. And I'm sort of like, well, this was your point. You know, like, that's what you guys wanted. So, you know, these are all challenging situations. I'm just not sure there's situations where it's, you know, 100% the referee's fault.
Right. And it happens in all the other leagues, too. We see it and we complain about it. You know, you joked last time you were on about me talking about the NHL because it's always on our mind. Hey, there's a lot of complaints about NHL officiating. We saw LeBron point to him being before the line with that 3-pointer the other day, and he's complaining about the officials in the NBA. So it is something that crosses all leagues for sure. Switching gears a little bit, Ian, we do have Pro Bowl selections announced yesterday. Any snubs, and then on top of that, Pro Bowl games. This is a new concept that we saw last year. I thought it was neat. I being a dork that loves golfing as well, I kind of like to watch these huge football players smash golf balls. But how has that been embraced, and how do you see the evolution of the Pro Bowl games overall, and then just any snubs in your opinion going into this year's Pro Bowl games?
Yeah, I mean, I would say I like the dodgeball and the whatever it is. I mean, I really get a kick out of all of that, and look, like, I can't say, just being totally honest, I can't say I was watching the Pro Bowl really when it was on.
Right. You're not the only one.
I actually watched. Right. And I love football. I really do.
Yeah.
But, to me, I would say, Amon-Ra St. Brown not being out there, big surprise to me. I would consider him a snub. Antoine Winfield's probably going to be an all-pro. He's not on there. I get it. Josh Allen's not on there, but it's like, who you going to take off Mahomes? Like, I guess you could. That would be the one. You take Mahomes off, put Josh Allen there, but he is Patrick Mahomes, so it seems like he's got a lifetime membership. So, there's several of them. Derek Brown's not on there for the Panthers, even though the Panthers are very bad. So, there's a couple of them. I just don't know that. The real problem is, and, this happens with the Hall of Fame too, it's like, you want to talk about snubs, like, okay, but who are you taking off if you're going to get your snub on there?
Right. No, that's a fair point. Ian, always a pleasure. Happy New Year to you. Great catching up with you. Be well, sir. Enjoy Week 18.
All right. Sounds good. Take care. Talk to you next week, guys.
That is NFL Insider Ian Rapoport. You can catch him on NFL Network and NFL.com. Good stuff there as we head into the final week of the regular season. Officiating, man, like that. And that's the thing is, like, talking about that game the other day, when we talked about it earlier in hour number 1 of the show, it's like 3 guys went over to the officials to try to create chaos, and they did. And then, Dan Campbell pops off about it, and that officiating crew gets demoted.
Well, and what Ian said was what was discussed earlier. Was it too confusing? Was there too much trickery? You were trying to trick the trick, where
Totally.
you're sending all these guys, because he's right. That one offensive lineman is the only lineman that has caught passes out of the backfield for them all season. So I get the gamesmanship, but you kind of steward yourself there a bit too, is what Ian was saying.
Yep.
The referee was seeing this guy report all game. Now, granted, the head coach did talk to you directly before the game about specifically this play, yet you still screwed it up. That's on the ref. Dan Campbell cannot be accused of being too much trickery. Sorry. That just does, especially when he explicitly details this play, which is quite normal in football games. Mm-hmm. For you to talk to the ref about that and say, hey, at some point we're going to try a fake punt. Make sure you don't blow us for illegal motion because this guy, it's very common. So still upset about that because of what I said earlier, but just the overwhelming reverberations on that one call.
Yeah.
Because that was
it did have total big-time ramifications, like you said, and financially as well for the Lions. Potentially, it could have had a home playoff date for sure. It sounds like you got beef with NFL officiating, and a couple of people texted in their beefs because we did do I Got Beef today, which was a lot of fun. I felt really good to get that off my chest about the drivers. Jasmine says, I've got beef with people who hang out at the Apple Store for no reason. It's always busy in the Apple Store. Like isn't it by appointment only mostly? But then you get people the walk-ins.
I don't go there. I don't want to go there.
It's a mess.
Yeah, I don't.
They're very cordial though. I found when I had to deal with Apple issues, they're very great.
From what I heard, they're great people.
They were very, very friendly. But I understand that. And then Jasmine says, Tommy, wait until it freaking snows. It's going to drive us nuts. Yeah.
Well, another one. Dylan came in and said, I got beef. I recently got back from a couple of trips. People at the luggage carousel screaming. You do not need to stand right up to it waiting for your bag.
Nope.
At Edmonton Airport, there is even a line to stand behind. Let other people access the carousel to get their bags. This drives me nuts.
Touché.
I thought Edmonton was better than that, but the people are the worst for crowding the carousel.
That is a bad one. I didn't think of that. That's another one. It's like,
Dylan coming in hot.
Airport etiquette. Where did it go?
Oh, and then there's the idiots that stand up as soon as the plane lands.
Not necessary.
Where are you going to go?
You can't. You're not catching that plane.
Now, I will say this. If you have a connecting flight and you got to get to the front of the plane, by all means. But, mention it on the way through.
Yeah.
But then there's still the idiots that are standing there blocking the people that are trying to get to their connecting flight.
Correct.
There should be a rule. You have to have your seatbelt on until you're actually hooked up to the carousel or the walkway.
Okay, and now if they implemented that, you know what would happen, Jay? People would be like, you're infringing on my rights, my freedoms to stand.
Sure.
How about just airport plane etiquette? Generally, airlines know that you have a connecting flight, and they will read the list sometimes.
No, hey, I'll tell you one thing.
But
We
it is
had a
good to
connecting
remind
flight
them.
to go out to Victoria. We went from Edmonton to
Yeah.
Vancouver, or no, Edmonton to Calgary to Vancouver.
Yeah.
And we had a connecting flight that was looking pretty dicey. They didn't say anything about it on the intercom and say, hey, we have 5 or 6 passengers that have a connecting flight. We had to like elbows up and get out there because there was some, you know what, standing in the frickin' aisle. And then I was saying, look, we have a connecting flight. We have a connecting flight. Can you please excuse me? And, but still, sit down. Sit the hell down until it's your turn or till they say to stand up. Jocelyn is with me as well. She says, the wave. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That drives me nuts when I take my hat off. Starts with a B word. And I'm actually nice and let someone in and they don't wave. Jocelyn, I think you're always nice.
I'm with you. Jocelyn also threw out a love you, Fergie, and then their pop with the cone. He's cute.
Cute.
Yeah. This one says it's from Vaughn. Says free flow lanes do not have stop signs. Keep it expletive moving. Driving 101, says Vaughn. Yeah, it's so frustrating, man. So frustrating. I like how people are bringing up beefs, and I enjoy reading other people's.
I
beefs
love
for
it too.
This one comes in, says, I've got beef. Recently got back from a couple of trips. People at the is that the one?
That's the one I read.
Okay,
yeah.
sorry.
Joe Balaneski's in as well, and he says that he had a flying back from Montreal to Edmonton, had a connection in Toronto, barely made it, even though the flight attendant said it's going to be tight, and all connecting people have priority. And he said people were arguing with them because they said, we have the same right to get. No, you shut up. Shut up. Sit down and shut up. You do not. If I miss this connecting flight, I'm the guy that's screwed and stuck in Toronto.
Right.
Sit down for another 5 minutes.
It's not hard.
Jeez. Atif has a beef.
Yes, I want to hear it.
You're talking about airplanes.
Wheels.
We are, Atif. I got beef with the small washrooms. Can you have bigger washrooms on an airplane?
Now,
I think that's a structural thing, Atif.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're going to win that one.
I'm not sure. Atif is, for those that don't know Atif, great ESTer, nasty.
Legend.
He's hanging out with Eric at Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge every Monday and Thursday. Atif, we call him Wheels. He's in a wheelchair. And, that's got to be tough. There's only so much room on those things. I don't know how much they can engineer. They are pretty tight, even for able-bodied people, too.
Yeah.
So, Atif, I hear you, man. I hear you.
And then you think about the Mile High Club.
Do people actually do that?
I don't know. I
seriously.
I think that's not real.
I've heard people getting caught trying to do it.
I
I
can barely take a piss in that thing.
Yeah.
Never. Not to mention having another person in there
No,
with you.
thank you. There's a time and a place, and it's not on an airplane.
I don't think that's really a thing.
Myth.
YouTube, Trev. Why titty? What do you think?
On the Mile High Club?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like if you have a private jet, that'd be pretty
Well, you're the
cool.
last.
That's way different, and I don't know how many of people in the general population
But
have
to,
the privilege of being on a private jet where they can indulge in the Mile High Club.
You're the guy flying all around Edmonton in that plane.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I mean, actually, might be able to make something do in that plane, but but like for going into the washroom. I mean, come on, no. It's just stinks in there. Why would you want to anyway?
It's a bacteria haven.
Turbulence all of a sudden, and you're just like,
Ugh.
yeah.
People pee on the floor.
Not a fan.
Don't do that. That's airplane etiquette. It's just anyway.
I do love flushing the toilet in there though.
Close the lid.
Right when
Close
it
the
just
lid.
sucks.
I've never. I've always been too scared to like walk when I'm flying, so I've never used the washroom.
You've never flown to Vegas, then, have you?
Yeah.
Really? You don't need to pee
3-4 times. Yeah.
because you're getting into it.
No, not once, ever.
Once I break the seal, it's
full of it.
game over.
Game over. All right, we're going to reset. Keep those beefs coming. I'm enjoying the beef element of this. Big thank you to Ian Rapoport for stopping by. Great stuff from Luke Gazdic as well. We also have to get to kind of easy trivia and 3 questions too many. Do you want to do kind of easy trivia?
Do I have to come up with questions?
I'll come up with the questions. You rattle them off. How does that sound?
Yep, deal.
$25 GC to Mr. Mike Steakhouse Casual. On the line, if you want to play, text us at the Paris Jewelers, inbox 780-218-9999. Just say, Trev, I want to play. Trev will pick someone to play kind of easy trivia, and then we've got, of course, 3 questions too many. I saw some come in for 3 questions too many earlier. I'm going to flag those and get them ready. We're going to reset here. I'll get those questions for Jay, and we want to give away a $25 gift certificate to Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual. The sirloin bites are delectable. So text us right now, 780-218-9999. Let Trev know you want to play. Let's go. Reset. And we're back. Hour number 3 of the Nielsen Show. Tom Gazzola, Jay Milne with you, in for Dusty and Lieutenant Eric. Dusty getting a little bit of a breather as he was busy through the holiday season calling the Spangler Cup, and he'll be back on Monday. Eric is under the weather. Hopefully LTE is good to go. Maybe by tomorrow, but I think maybe he gets the rest of the week off as well. You're in tomorrow as well.
Can't wait.
Excellent. It's good to have fresh voices on the Nielsen Show.
Mike, the Michigan fan, we see you, baby.
Does he need to be seen?
Go blue.
Ah, yeah, big week
Go
coming up.
Mason. And good time to join the show because we are going to break down. We're going to get diggity down with this college football.
I like it. We do have to get to 3 questions too many. You just okay. Who?
No, I just want to say we haven't had any texts for kind of easy trivia. So get those texts in if you want to play.
Serious?
Who doesn't want a $25 gift card? Come on.
$25 GC on the line to Mr. Mike's. Who wants to play? Text us 780-218-9999.
That's a first.
I thought you were jumping in there because you were like, I need to talk.
Yeah, no, I do need to talk. Come on, send in a text.
Come on.
It's fun.
You have a very good chance of winning.
It is kind of easy. All right, well, then we'll do this. We'll go to 3 questions too many, brought to you by the good folks at Park Mazda. Do you have a liner there? Do you want to read?
Of course.
Yeah, there's a lot of them there.
Well, let's choose one here.
Please.
It's brought to you by the staff at Park Mazda and Mitch Lewicki. Mitch would walk through fire for his daughters. Well, not fire because it's dangerous. But maybe a super humid room, but not too humid because of his hair. That's Mitch Lewicki from Park Mazda.
I heard he's got good hair. I don't think I've met Mitch.
Mitch?
Yeah.
He's a legend out there.
That's in the park, yeah.
When he drives home, the streets close down.
Damn.
Yeah.
Lucky.
Y Road just shuts down.
Okay.
Looks like we've got some takers.
Good.
We are ready.
Good. I'm looking up. There was a bunch of questions that came in for kind of easy trivia, like at 5:45.
I can't find those.
I'm getting to them. Who do we have? Okay, you're working on it? Okay, sorry, Trev. My bad. I'm putting pressure on you. You do want to talk about CFP championship right away here?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Where did this go? My goodness, I lost it. See any nasty chats you want to get to there?
There's some discussion about that song.
The bass groove?
That bassy groove.
Good stuff.
People say, Trev in a leisure suit with that glorious mustache just grooving. I can see it now.
He does do that.
He does, yeah. I think a leisure suit would actually work with YouTube, Trev. Why?
Yeah, what? Like velour?
All velour.
All velour.
All velour.
I lost all these questions. Where did they go?
So did you watch the
I watched
Rose Bowl?
I watched the Sugar Bowl.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You didn't watch the Rose Bowl?
No, I missed it. I was watching the Winter Classic.
Yeah. Makes sense. I did. It was incredible. That's on a bucket list for us for sure. Is getting to go to Pasadena.
I watched the Rose Bowl.
Taking the parade. They can stuff. I think they can put 100,000 people in that.
Huge stadium, right?
Yeah.
Didn't they play the World Cup there?
No, that was the LA stadium.
LA, yeah, the Coliseum.
Something like that.
Okay.
We are good to go.
Who do we have?
We have Vaughn today.
All right. Vaughn, good morning. How you doing, man?
Good, Tom. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for being nasty. We appreciate that. You ready to play kind of easy trivia?
Yes, sir. I am.
All right. Awesome. Jay will be asking the questions. Kind of easy trivia as always. Brought to you by Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual, the casualest place ever in the Hampton Inn on the corner of 137th Ave and Mark Messier Trail. The Sirloin Bites to die for. Brand new location now in Fort Sask as well. And you can get Dusty's favorite, the classic Mike Burger, which he evidently grew up real big on. And Vaughn, $25 on the line. We've got J Milne, EST Glue Guy, firing away those questions. You guys ready? You guys do your thing. I'm going to find these questions for for 3 questions too many.
You ready, Vaughn?
I'm ready.
Who did the Oilers play on Saturday?
Ottawa.
Did the Oil Kings win in Kamloops last night?
Yes.
True or false? The Bakerfield Condors beat Abbotsford last night.
Oh, false.
Is Canada in the World Junior Hockey Championship Finals?
No.
Please name one NFL team.
The Baltimore Ravens.
We got a winner.
Play it.
Play the bass line, baby.
Attaboy, Vaughn. All right, congrats, Vaughn, picking up a $25 GC to Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual, the casualest place ever. Appreciate you playing. It's the bye week, as Joaquin Gage called it, but we're getting through just fine. Duck Dad, this is kind of unofficially the first question for 3 questions too many, brought to you by the good folks at Park Mazda. Duck Dad says, who do you think you are? I am. Get it right. I get it right. Kyle the Embalmer says, kind of Tommy trivia strikes again. I thought that was pretty easy. Well done. You did a good job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It was,
Thank you, Jay.
it was great.
Yeah.
Dash says the recent Rose Bowl had 92,542 in attendance.
Huge.
92,000 people.
Huge.
Wow.
That is huge. Question number one. You ready for this? Jay, I'm going to fire them your way and maybe even Trev's way.
Yeah.
Maybe this is more so for YouTube Trev. Hey, boys. Love the show. Just wondering, do you have access to the Nasty Club website? All of the goal songs are there. Trev, go ahead and answer that one.
It's going to keep it short and sweet. No, I do not.
It's crazy, but we do not.
Yeah. So as soon as Dusty's back, that's on tap. The first thing on tap. I'm going to talk to him about it because we need those, and it brings a lot to the show, as a lot of viewers have said. So I'm working on it. I'm sorry about that.
We're working on it.
As they're called, the keys, the codes.
Yeah, I mean, I say they take their toys and they go home with them, which they and you're
blows
shaking
my
your-
mind. It just blows my
yeah,
mind.
I know. There's a certain. It is their stuff, granted, but it is also their show that we're doing, as well.
Yes, spread the wealth.
Yeah, so it's going to be brought up in a upcoming meeting. We're not mad. We're just saying. We're just saying. Did you see what happened to Cole Perfetti the other day?
Nope.
Did you see what happened to Cole Perfetti the other day?
With the
the
whole
face
Ryan
off.
Hartman? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this question comes in and says, why do it's from Oily Sink. Why do people think it's okay what happened to Perfetti? Stick to the eye and the cheap shot ends a career instead of just being a talking point. I think people are too quick to forget about Carl Hagelin and his injury forcing him to retire. So if you didn't catch it, Ryan Hartman high-sticked Cole Perfetti off a face-off the other day and told Perfetti he was going to get him, not because Perfetti did anything per se. It was because I think it was Brendan Dillon was cross-checking Kirill Kaprizov the night before between the Wild and the Jets. And all of this was caught on mic and camera because Perfetti was wearing a microphone for the game. Thoughts on that, Mr. Glue Guy?
There's the old, this is hockey, this is payback, that's all good and fine, but not in that manner. That was egregious. That was very deliberate. And yeah, I mean that's just taking it too far, in my opinion. But I don't know. I just self-policing, like we talked about earlier and whatnot. I'm a big fan of that in many sport, but in a much more ethical way, I would say, than doing something and stooping to that level.
Yeah, it was stupid. Trav, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, sorry. I mean, I feel bad for Cole Perfetti, honestly. Like, it's, I don't know, it kind of fell on him. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. Yeah, I guess I don't really have
That
much
sucks,
thoughts on
man.
that. But it does suck. You feel for the guy. I don't know.
You got a couple of zippers on that one.
Yeah.
All right, this is the last one. This one's kind of spicy, and it has to go back to our discussion in I Got Beef in regard to Mile High Club, airplane etiquette, airport etiquette, something that has faded away, unfortunately. This one ties into the new age of, let's call them content creators.
Woo! Tommy's favorite.
I hate content creators. They piss me off. That's something I could have popped off on in I Got Beef. But Sean texts in and says, Mile High Club, how about OnlyFans personalities, particularly women who film in the laboratory and have their flights practically paid for before they land? Apparently, it's a new thing. Sean, with that one. I didn't know that this is a new thing. I'm not surprised anymore. I know OnlyFans has become a big thing. Like, I'll go to a restaurant or hang out, see my brother or some friends, and they'll be like, hey, did you see, that girl over there at that table? I'm like, yeah, what about her? She's like big on OnlyFans.
Oh my gosh.
Or, hey, she's got 100,000 Instagram followers. Why? And then they'll like bring up their Instagram, and it is like bikini shots, nude shots with like cleverly placed items. And it's like, this is, everybody knows this girl in our city? Or they'll be like, this guy is an influencer in our city. I'm like, why? He's just a dude wearing a hoodie and joggers. And like, well, he does funny things around the city. It's like what? And then they'll show a video of it. This is hilarious, and it's just dumb crap. So, as Sean pointed out, OnlyFans personalities, particularly women who film in the lavatory and have their flights practically paid for before they land, apparently it's the new thing. Thoughts on that to wrap up 3 questions too many, brought to you by Park Mazda.
So what? Sex sells? Is that
Obvious. It's not like the oldest
brutal? I just this
oldest job in known to
it's
mankind
been
or something
going
like
on
that.
since
Yeah.
the dawn of
What's the
the dawn of time.
right.
Respect yourselves, ladies. Respect
And dudes
yourselves.
doing like
I
stupid
didn't even
Instagram
know
crap.
that was a thing. OnlyFans dudes?
No, not only.
Oh.
I'm sure there's OnlyFans dudes, but like content creators.
Right. Have some self-respect, for God's sake. Don't just, I mean, I'm a father of 3 daughters, so you'd have to appreciate my side of the story here.
Right.
Yeah. Like, just grow up. You're going to have kids one day. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe you shouldn't. Maybe that's your penalty.
I'm not a parent, so I don't know.
You'd be a great dad, I can tell.
Oh, thank you.
You got it in you, Tommy. You
I appreciate that.
got it in you, little guy.
This is why you're the. This is why you're the glue guy. YouTube Trev, thoughts on content creators and apparently OnlyFans personalities, according to Sean, who go in the lavatory and snap photos, post them because they get the Wi-Fi on the plane and have their flight paid for by the time they land. That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. OnlyFans, you guys kind of said it. It's a disgrace. I don't know. But as far as content creation goes, like I don't know. I've always been huge into YouTube. Like
Okay, I'm differentiating between
Like,
YouTube.
we're
As
creating
far-
content right here.
But as
This
far
is
as
on a
so you're
different
more
level.
so like
YouTube is like
you're like vloggers. You don't like hey guys, I'm making some toast. It's got avocado
yeah,
on it.
that.
Have some
Or like-
purpose
Yeah,
to it.
yeah. It's like
Give me something.
Yeah,
other than-
I
Instagram
can't.
Shorts. Let's go see how much I can piss off golfers today, and it's like you blow an air horn, like dumb crap like that.
Yeah.
And people, this guy's hilarious. No, he's an idiot.
You don't like that? Okay, maybe.
No, I do not.
I think, I do like that stuff, Tommy. I think it's funny.
Y2T is here
I
for
think
that.
it's great content. It's good.
You're a younger man,
Exactly.
but is
what maybe-
some of that stuff not stupid to you even?
I think maybe it's because I guess my age are the people that are doing it. So maybe if I'm and seeing that's kind of what happens. I'm going to be your age and I'm going to be like, wow, like look at these guys. Like what are they doing? Like come on. But right now I'm kind of in it. So
What about this one?
Yeah.
Hey guys, it's me. Or what's up, fam? Just getting up for the day. Follow me on my daily journey.
Yeah. See,
That's stuff's stupid.
yeah, I'm not a fan of vloggers. Like personally, it's like I'd rather it's like just go out and do your stuff. Like why do you have to watch someone else's what they're doing, in their day? It's
I
like
don't need to know your OOTD.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
what your coffee order is and what you ate for breakfast. Like I've seen stories, Instagram posts, whatever, of like a girl or a guy just like eating their lunch. And it's like 5 seconds of their Instagram story. I'm like, why do I care about? Why are you posting that? And then you look and people are like, great content. That is amazing.
Yeah, no.
Oh, you're the best.
no,
You're so interesting.
I'm with you with that for sure.
No,
like
you're not.
Well, no, I don't watch vloggers or anything like that. But as far as I don't know, some streamers and some prank videos, yeah, I'm here for it. It's funny.
Some are truly creative. Some are funny. A comedian I genuinely admire and think is hilarious and is brilliant is Kyle Dunnigan. He's a great impressionist. He's very funny. Does a YouTube show, but his like Instagram stories are funny. They're thought out. I'm not watching him like brush his teeth.
No.
You know what I mean? Or like the ones where they start the day, it's like, follow me on my day today, sponsored by Oil of Olay, some stupid crap like that. And like they wake up and they like rub their eyes and then they brush their teeth and then they end the day like you're on their bike ride home and then the sun sets and then you see them pull the covers and turn off the light. I'm like, why did you post? Who did you think wanted to watch that?
Good rant. People are fired up.
Yeah, yeah.
Did I get people going? Because
Yeah.
I'm
This sounds like I got beef.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I extended I
might
got
be a new
beef into
segment.
kind of easy trivia and 3 questions to me.
And can I just say, Kyle the Embalmer, we directly asked Luke Gazdic about the Petrangelo / job earlier in the show. So I'd like you to take back that comment and apologize. No, just kidding.
What did Kyle the Embalmer say?
No, he just said, why isn't nobody talking about this? And
we
I
talked about it.
appreciate that because
Yeah.
we did, and it should have been talked about. But yeah, and we're talking about OnlyFans here. We're not talking about everything else related to that. OnlyFans is the one that gets our goat, right?
Okay.
That me, anyways.
Well, you've got daughters.
Well, yeah, but that aside, it just seems. I don't know. It just seems weird. It's just weird.
Matt,
It's weird.
it is weird. Well, like, listen. No, I'm just going to leave it there. It's weird. Matt texts in, Paris Jewelers inbox, 780-218-9999 says, you should look up Johnny Somali, who has been over in Japan tormenting people for clicks and views and is on the way to prison time, being deported permanently because of it. It's. I'm assuming Johnny Somali is an idiot. Matt, that's probably a perfect example of what I mean. Now, I think Beetlejuice from the Howard Stern show is pretty funny sometimes. The poor guy, like, they obviously...
What are you doing? Me? Nothing. I love that.
And then, like...
That's the kind of content I'm here for, though.
Sometimes I find Hezbollah funny, too.
Oh, yeah, right.
And the memes of... But, like, the daily, nonsensical, pointless, no-reason videos that content creators post. And I'm not talking vloggers on YouTube who have opinions and takes on sporting events. Those are good. Like, those are good. There's all kinds of creativity that we see out there. I like travel vloggers. I really do.
You're getting a lot of content ideas here, Tom.
Well, what are we getting?
Jeffy says it's time for the B-word sesh with Tommy G. It's time for Karen's Corner with special elder millennial guest host Tom Gazzola.
Well played.
And then people are saying that they'd watch you shop.
I'm in and out.
Perfect.
I know what I'm getting.
And that's a quick
what
video.
fits.
People like
Yeah.
that, especially
Yeah.
the young kids, right?
Yeah.
Right, YTT?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, if I took my phone, okay, and I flipped it around in
I wanna
selfie
do it.
mode, Tom here at this store buying a jacket, and there's me going up to the salesperson, can I get this in a large, please? And then I try it on and go, what do you think, fam? And then I buy it. Like, that is something you want to watch? And are you going to double tap that?
I'm here for that.
Come on.
I'm watching
Guys.
that all
I'd
over.
watch it, Tommy.
Guys, stop it.
I think it'd be great.
Business opportunity?
Yeah. Tommy shops.
Not a chance. Not a chance. Anyway, whoever had that millennial crybaby thing, well done.
Penner's Pancakes makes a good point. Imagine if the internet crashed. Content creators would cry if they had to pick up a shovel.
Content creators, for the most part, the ones I'm pointing out, have no actual skill. Nothing that they bring to the table. No creativity, no thought. Doesn't stimulate the mind for their viewers. It's empty calories, I think. Anyway, I appreciate being called out for it. I am being a whiner, but I go, who is this person? Why do they matter? Did you see so and so at that? No, who is that? Well, she does this.
But
Have you
just
seen her?
think
Oh,
of that.
like, well,
That's how you're being recognized? It's because of
I
your
know.
OnlyFans? Like, that's not, I don't know. I'm definitely the old crotchety guy here on this. I understand that. It's my role, fine. I just would not want to be recognized at Earl's or Joey's as, that girl's on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Nope.
I know it pays, and some people make a lot of money. I met a girl a couple years ago, and their friend was like, yeah, she does makeup. And she has like hundreds of thousands of subscribers. I'm like, really?
Tutorials, yeah.
Good tutorials. But And I looked, and apparently she does well, and she bought a house, and it's turned into a business. That is like, that's stuff that other women use, right?
Oh, I love when this stuff goes off the rails.
Sorry. Anyway,
No, hey, it's clearly what the people are here for.
double
Hashtag
A.
Tommy Shops.
No chance.
Tommy Shop, V1, EP1, dropping soon.
Preach Tommy, says double A. Jen says, LOL, a large Tommy. As I know, as Strutty used to call me Tiny Tom, I'm very average size, as people don't know. Yes,
What's average?
a
I mean,
large.
literally, what's the average size of an
I think an
adult male?
I think I'm taller than an average man,
How tall are you?
like 5'11".
I'd say you're pretty damn. Yeah, I'd say you're higher.
You're a big guy. You're like what, 6'3", 6'4"?
Sure.
Yeah.
I think average height for males like 5'8".
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Well above that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah.
Jen, yes, I know it's Strutty's joke. People will be like, little guy, and then they meet me and they're like, why did Strutty say that? It's like, because I'm average and it was an inside joke.
But that is true. Like Spency 5 Cents, he comes in and he says there's lots of channels with people with talent,
Yeah.
right?
Those
And,
ones I value.
yeah, like I'm a big Vice Grip garage guy. He's just a funny dude that fixes old cars out of like
That's
farmers' fields and gets them driving. You know, that's just, but that's with purpose. I
Yes.
learn things about vehicles and
Yeah.
this vintage of vehicle from watching that show. So there is purpose to that.
Yeah. I like travel vlogs and vloggers.
Well, you can learn something from it if you're
Yeah.
going to this place, or you're going to, I don't know, somewhere. You can find somebody that's done it already, and here's what you do, here's what you don't. There's value in that.
Yes. What's another one? Like I love uniforms, sports uniforms, and there's like a guy that breaks down like Aesthetics does a great job. There's guys on YouTube that do like NHL jersey breakdowns and rumor mills and stuff like. I like that because I'm a dork for jerseys.
I'm with Gord. Let's move on.
Okay, let's move on.
YTT, you down with that?
Yeah. Let's go.
We have half.
We
an
have to
hour.
break down this college
let's
football
go.
playoffs.
College football playoffs.
I want
Let's
it
go.
just walked in, old one-armed, eh? It's too bad. His shoulders dangling, his jacket's dangling.
He's gonna be all right.
He's gonna make it. He's gonna make it. I want to know what his pick is for the national championship. Now, who's favored, Tom? Who do you think's favored between Michigan and Washington?
Is it Michigan?
It is.
Yeah, I thought so.
They're favored by 4.5 points, which
Yeah.
I think is a good line.
Okay.
I still think Michigan's gonna come out on top of that line. So if you're into betting, I think Michigan's gonna cover the 4.5 spread. Interesting things. This is essentially the Big Ten national championship game.
Right.
Next year, Washington's going to be in the Big Ten. This is their last year in the Pac-12. The Pac-12 is all but gone.
Yes.
So essentially, you have a Big Ten national championship. Not bad.
Gotcha.
This is the first national championship without a team from the SEC since 9 years ago, 2015. And it features a rival swap. So in 2015, it was Ohio State v. Oregon.
Yeah.
Now it's Michigan versus Washington. Riddle me that. For the first time in 9 years, no SEC team.
All I hear about is SEC teams.
Yeah, they're the big dogs.
I know they're the big
power
dogs.
conference.
Yep. For years, I would have to listen to Bob Stauffer tell me about Alabama.
Yep. Alabama gave Michigan a great run,
But-
I didn't think Michigan was going to pull it out.
Bama
honestly.
shouldn't have been in that game, though.
Sure they should have. Did you see what happened to Florida State
They
against
got
Georgia?
What happened? They got crushed. Did they have a bunch of
That's
guys
why
sit out?
Florida State shouldn't have made the playoff. They nailed that. They got that right.
Wow.
That was
validation.
Validation for the committee, for sure.
Wow.
Better logo. One's an M, one's a dub. Come on.
I know the
Who's-
Blue Bombers basically stole Washington's look.
Essentially.
Yeah. Colors are a little bit different. Both of those logos suck.
Then the maize and blue is just stands out.
Who's got the better helmet? Michigan.
Michigan by
Totally.
there's no
Talking about uniforms. What else about the CFP
Michigan has
championship?
the number 2 pass defense in the country. Guess who has the number 1 pass offense in the country?
It would be Washington.
Washington. Now, that's going to be a battle. I think that's where, if Michigan can contain Michael Penix Jr. and that aerial attack, they should win by double digits. I think. I don't think Washington's defense is going to stand up to Michigan.
In the Sugar Bowl, what, like, I'm assuming you watched both of those games, Jay, because you're into this, obviously. What or how would you describe the final 2 minutes for Washington? Because they almost blew it to Texas. And I'm sitting there going, they're cruising. You get to the 2-minute warning, maybe get a first down or rush the ball a couple of times, kill the clock. It's all good. Like, you're punching your ticket. It got dicey for them. And I know they had the injury to the running back. They had to take a timeout. And then it opened up the door for Texas, who wasn't able to take advantage. Some of the play calling and the execution when Texas had the ball, it was just
That really could have backfired on Washington
totally
with that player injury.
And I was like, what the hell is going on?
They should have got the ball back, I think, with 19 or sub 20 seconds left.
Yeah.
They got it back with over 50 seconds left and drove the field and almost won that game. That would have been heartbreaking for a Washington fan.
Stamp Hater says, no one in Canada cares about college football. Stamp Hater, I'm not a big college football guy, but that statement, although I understand where it comes from, not true.
Yeah, I don't think anybody really, there's no diehards, but it's bowl season. It's the national championship.
Lucas Holt would like to have a conversation.
Sure, Lucas is a big fan. Maddie's a big fan. I mean,
fan.
I like watching college football. I'm not a diehard, but around this time of the year, you're going to have to talk about it. The national championship's being played next Monday.
I think it is growing in popularity in our country too, and I think a lot of that has to do with sports betting. Just like my buddy never watched a college football game till he was like 30 years old. And he's like, hey, are you watching Oregon this weekend? I'm like, why the hell would I be watching Oregon this weekend? He's like, well, they're so good. I'm like, how do you know they're so good? They've had a good program for a long time. Jason Moss was the starting quarterback there. And he goes, a lot of money on the line. I was like, your money? He's like, yeah, every weekend. They're my team. They make me money.
Oh, wow.
That, to me, it's one example, but I feel like the betting component has added to the fandom of college sports, namely football, in our country. Just, I know Stamp Hater says no one in Canada cares about college football, but I think that's not necessarily true. Betting has a lot to do with it. Not fantasy, just betting. And it is a spectacle. It's exciting to watch. You see how crazy people go down there for it.
Well, and Jimmy Onishi came in on the chat, and yeah, he's saying that FSU didn't start. They sat a bunch of players.
That's what I thought, because they got crushed by Georgia, right?
But their starting quarterback was out.
Yeah.
For I don't know.
He's sitting out for the draft, isn't he?
No, he was injured earlier, but you're telling me even if they got steamrolled, okay?
Yes.
But you're telling me that with 20 of their starters that are actually playing, not having their stud quarterback was what held them back. That was clearly, I think, detailed through the selection process. I still think if and why don't you play those players? Are they all sitting out for the draft? I don't know. Why not? Like, it looks like Georgia played their players.
Right, obviously.
That worked out pretty well for them. But, it's an interesting discussion for sure. Absolutely.
Jasmine, hello, Jasmine, chimes in again, says 100% college football popular because of sports betting. That's why people watch WNBA. Thanks, Jasmine. Good to hear from you. So what are you predicting? You predicting Michigan wins?
Yes.
Yeah.
And they cover the spread.
4.5, you said?
Yep.
YouTube Trev, huge college football guy.
Yeah, that's unfortunately I can't really chime in on this. It's crazy. Well, you said today you were like last weekend of NFL football, and I'm like, darn it, like I had no idea. Well, yeah, regular season, but like this year I was like, no, I'm definitely gonna keep up with the football, and I kind of failed in that, so I'm sorry, but I like playoffs, so I'm looking forward to that. I have a hard time sitting down and watching football by myself. If I was, like I said, if I was with some people to watch football, when I went to my first Elks game, and then the second one with you guys, I was into it. I love it. But I really need to be with someone as Maddie walks into the room.
Here's the voice of reason.
What's going on? Matthew Iwanek has stepped into the studio, and Joaquin Gage has also arrived, giving us a one-fingered salute.
Hey, Gager, Washington or Michigan? Washington or Michigan? There you go. What do you got, Iwanek?
What you got?
4.5 point spread.
Oh, snap.
He's going Michigan.
There it is. And
The only person around here would be Lucas going with Washington.
Yeah.
It's an over game. If they get overhits, Washington's winning that football.
Over hits, Washington wins, he thinks. I don't know.
Michigan. I don't think Michigan has the. If Washington can score points, I don't think Michigan can match that.
If they can. If they can.
It's the
They haven't faced a defense like this all year. He did.
He did. Zach Hyman did go to Michigan.
Future Hart Trophy winner.
That's
you heard it here
Rocket
first.
I'm just kidding. Another text comes in, says, I'm Canadian, and I am a hardcore college football fan. They are out there, and I think a lot of it, like Jasmine reiterated, has to do with sports betting. It's on our minds. It is truly a huge deal down south, obviously. But another text comes in and says, ask Maddie about the Miami Hurricanes and their bowl game. Also, I enjoyed the Pop-Tart Bowl. I thought the edible mascot and how they executed that was brilliant and weird at the same time.
What a mascot. What a
when he was going into the toaster and he put up the sign that said dreams do come true. That was pretty good.
If you haven't or don't know what we're talking about,
Yeah.
YouTube the Pop-Tart mascot. He will make your day.
It was pretty funny.
It was beautiful. And the trophy actually had 2 edible Pop-Tarts attached to it. So not only do you win a beautiful trophy, you get a Pop-Tart right off the bat.
Dreams do come true.
I'm not a Pop-Tart guy.
Neither am I.
I've had one, I think, in my, really, in my life. And it
There's
wasn't
a
even
box
cooked.
of them over there for Dusty if you want to dig into
Oh,
that.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Jimmy says Power 5 undefeated. They got snubbed while Bama's QB got only 116 yards.
Lone Star Land is in on Washington. Seems like there is a lot of college football fans here.
I think legit there are.
Well, I mean, for this game, it's a national final. It's the college championship. There's a lot of cachet with that, and it does definitely ramp up for us Canadians up here.
Lone Star Len, Washington. Go Huskies, says Lone Star Len. My son and I have been watching the Huskies all year because he's applying to UW. Penner's Pancake says Stoffer really didn't wear that Michigan toque well. Yikes. Stoff. Yeah. Stoff, quick story, because we got to get into the wrap, brought to you by William Huff here, but Stoff, we landed in Phoenix one time, and the national championship with Bama in it was being played. As we were literally driving from the airport, I think on the 303 or the 101 in Phoenix, and we saw at the time University of Phoenix Stadium, which is now State Farm Stadium, and people going to the game were like, Stuff, this is your chance. We have nothing to do tonight. You could get into the game, tickets on StubHub for $100. You can go see your team win. And he's like, I don't think I want to go. Bob, come on, man. Like, this is like a once-in-a-lifetime things coming together. You can go. And he's like, I don't know if I want to do that. Jack finally convinced him, and they went, and they had a great time. I just remember that.
Hasn't been an Oily Sink just chimed in on the nasty chat. Has it been talked about how much he blew up on Twitter with his skating video? Have you guys discussed that?
It went viral. Now that's content I could go for.
What a beautiful stride.
He's a good skater.
Yeah, he looked a lot better than what I thought.
He was
was
actually pretty quick.
He was just dancing out there.
Well, he'll
Like,
tell
he's,
you.
like, just
He'll tell you
trotting.
quite passionately how much and how far he played hockey. I think he played up till KC Midget AAA
Well, Southside Athletic Club.
or
get
Southside
it right,
Athletic Club. Yeah, that's
because
right.
how dare you
He'd probably
even hint that he might have played outside of Southside Athletic Club.
That's right.
Yeah, actually, it's funny because the first time I played hockey with Bob was at the Edmonton Minor Hockey Week kickoff game, media versus alumni. which is coming up next Wednesday, by the way. Looking forward to playing in that as we get set for Minor Hockey Week here in our city. Great tournament. The rinks are packed more than usual. And I was like, I wonder how Stoff is, because he always talks about his Southside Athletic Club days. Surprisingly quick for a big man. And he had decent hands. And I was like, oh, boy.
And the Red Bull. The Red Bull was the real kicker for me.
Bob with a energy beverage is like Julian from Trailer Park Boys with the rum and Coke.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Do you think they pull him out for the skills comp tonight? Can you imagine?
For the love of God,
don't imagine if he came out for fastest skater?
No, please don't.
Just see that silky,
I'd be
smooth
here for
stride
it.
going around. I would
Skills
be there for
competition
that.
tonight. No, I don't want to see. People paid money to go watch the Oilers compete and kids that are up and coming, potential future Oilers. Not Bob. To do skills competition drills. Okay, the wrap for William Huff. Visit WilliamHuff.com. Wrapping the city since 1972. Make your place look as good as ours with Bruce and the team at William Huff. What do we got? Update?
2-2.
Czechia and Sweden?
Czechia and Sweden.
There we go. Very nice. What do we got for the wrap? You want to do that update? 2-2. You can catch that game on TSN. And we are going to get to some texts. I already read the liner. It's all good.
You got it, Tom.
It's all good. I saw a couple of texts. I
got one.
Okay, go for it. I had
Just
one
gotta
too.
find it.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Well, there was that one you were talking about. Yeah.
Leo says, college football hoodies are in with the kids, but just like heavy metal shirts, many just buy them because they look cool to them.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. There's a lot of like Florida Gators and...
But remember, like, Georgetown Hoyas? Like,
yeah, I had a starter Georgetown Hoyas jacket.
This is a thing. It's cyclical, I feel like. Yeah.
Well, and those sweaters are sold at, like, every store. That like, it's almost like a bootlegger thing now. You can go buy these American college shirts or crew necks or whatever at these bootlegger stores. I don't know. I've seen them. I've seen them.
Okay, I think I know what you're going to read via the nasty chat. Is it Oily Sink?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Which one?
The one that just went in there.
He's getting...
I, for one, would pay top dollar to see Bob do the skills comp. All right.
If you announced that would bring in a lot of people, given how viral that went online, right?
Joaquin Gage is sitting there going, oh, my God. Oh, okay. Are you all right over there? Oh, boy. We do have a text of the day. Comes with a GC to A&W. It's loading here. Came in from Jeffy.
Ah, that's the one.
That's the one. I like it. Yeah, I'm just waiting it's not loading.
Was that at 8:29?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. That's what I triggered as what I
Do you have it up there? Because mine...
I do.
Okay, read it.
It's time for B-Word Sesh with Tommy G. It's time for Karen's Corner with special elder millennial guest host Tom Gazzola. That is your text of the day. Jeffy, well done. I thought that was in the running right when I saw it. Turns out to be true.
That is
well done.
Well done. Yes, I turned 3 questions too many into an extended version of I've Got Beef. I think a lot of people joined in on the fun. We went over a lot of things like airplane and airport etiquette, driving, content creators and Instagram models and OnlyFans models. Thanks for putting up with me.
You know what? It's just speaking the truth, Tom. It's from the heart.
Mm-hmm.
You can't fake that. And yes, I do know how old I am when you have an old starter Georgetown jacket.
But the starter jackets are back. Like I saw Hernan was rocking one on the sidelines at an Elks game late in the season. It was fresh, like white with the green and gold stripes.
Like the poofy ones, the poofier
a
style.
A little bit poofy.
Remember they had the zipper at the
It's
front?
got the pouch at the front.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, that's fresh.
Oh, yeah. Those
I don't know if I could pull that off, though. But I liked it.
Works.
It works.
Remember on the starter hats, you used to take out the star that was sewn in?
Really?
They used to have the logo. Yeah.
Why?
I don't know if anybody else remembers this. I don't know. I think if you collected enough of them, you could get a free starter hat if you mailed them back to them. Oh. So, like, the starter logo was above the snapback, and you turn it over and take out the sewn in part of the star. That was a thing. Definite thing.
Stamp Hater with another one says, I don't know if I've ever laughed as hard as when Georges Larac ran Bob during a charity event, and Bob legit wanted to fight. Still one of the funnier things that I have seen.
I probably have to let that one go.
Yeah.
You might want to move on, Bob.
Yeah, I know Bob and George are good friends, but I would not challenge George.
I saw a picture of George and his, I'd imagine it was his son and daughter.
Yeah.
And his son is as tall as him.
He's a big boy, and
his daughter's not far off. Like
athletes.
They are athletes, 100%.
Athletes.
Joelle remembers the starter thing. She said, I did it too, glue guy.
So you took out the star from the hat, send it into them, and they'd send you a new hat?
I think you had, I don't know the exact, outlay or outline of how it worked. But yes, that was the idea. You took out the patch that was sewn into it.
Interesting.
And then you collected enough of them. And then I guess the premise was that you'd send it in and they would send you a ball cap or something. I don't know.
Interesting.
It's nice to see starter back.
Interesting.
It's nice to see.
Take a look at the nasty chat. What's going on there? Jimmy says Tommy's therapy session. It felt really good, Jimmy. Thank you for putting up with it.
We're all here for you.
Yeah, I appreciate that
Support.
so very much. The doc had a San Jose Sharks one. Still have it. My son wears it now. Yeah, so there's a lot of good stuff. And we see like the cyclical, even like remember the hats that had like the wave and then the team logo on the front. That's back too. I've noticed that.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's a tough look.
It is a tough look. All right, what did you learn today, Jay? Anything?
Well, I learned that people are very passionate about content creating in its various forms on the internet. I learned that YTT is very calm and cool under pressure.
He is.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. That's I don't know. That was the first. It was kind of your heart skips a beat, and all of a sudden you're like, "Oh, go!" Like this is crazy. So yeah, I appreciate that. There was a few comments that were nice towards me. So thanks, guys.
Handled it like a real pro.
Yes,
I appreciate that. Yeah, it was cool. It was nice because when Maddie was training me, we had a few hiccups, and seeing him just like work his magic, I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was able to fix some things. I'm like, oh, that's not bad. So pretty cool.
Someone texted in earlier and asked if or how many times the signal dropped back at the old station. It happened. Like sometimes the actual transmitter would go down, or there'd be a system issue, and it would pop up, or like our online stream wouldn't work, and it was a thing. And we'd have to be like, well, we're working on it. So I think our listeners and viewers that have been around since the 1260 days understand that sometimes technology fails you.
Third thing I learned today was that Tommy might just need a hug once in a while. What do you think?
I think he needs a hug. He's
I'm fine.
I don't know. We will give you a hug. Oh, nice. This is a EST first.
Thank you.
That's
guy.
nice.
He's
That's
hugging
nice.
me. If you're listening on your way to work right now, that was a very nice hug. I appreciate that. And serenity now.
Yeah.
Serenity now.
It was a passionate hug.
It was very nice. Thank you, Glue Guy.
Yes, that's true. Future EST guest, Bob Stauffer. That's how we should refer to him.
That is
Can't
the
forget
tag that we're giving him. The Hangout's coming up next. Joaquin Gage, Maddie Owanek. And Maddie, who else do you guys have today? Dash in the park. All right. That'll be a good one. No expletives today. I know Dash likes to get saucy.
Jasmine's
Saucy
the
with his
best.
words.
She
Jasmine's
finishes
good. What did
off
Jossie
the
Saucy.
Paris Jewelers inbox with, I liked this show today. It was fun and therapeutic.
Thank you, Jasmine.
Maybe it was that funky bass beat. I think we should keep that too. I don't think that goes,
He dug
Yeah,
that gem up.
we're gonna keep that. I can't wait to see Dusty's reaction in nasty chat. Like, oh, what are all these contra requests, Trev? And then we're gonna play it and see what his reaction is. It's gonna be
I
funny.
think it got knocked off.
Yeah.
Their conch got knocked off by
Yeah. Oh well, yeah.
your conch.
I hope so, cause but some people are saying, oh, like bring back the old conch, but I don't know, man. I don't know how you do it. Like I love this one. That first play when I grabbed it the first time, because I didn't hear how it how it ends. So I was like, oh, okay, the beginning sounds good, but just your guys' reactions, that was so good. So yeah, I think we're gonna keep this.
Oily Singh says funky bass beat with the YouTube Trev leisure suit.
Yeah, we got to turn the camera on you for that.
He's got the camera. You want to say hi to everybody?
I mean, I can
Say
quickly
hello.
say hi. Wait one second.
YouTube Trev's going to pop on to say hi as we get set to say goodbye. Penner's Pancakes via the Nasty Chat says, very fun today. Yes, glad you enjoyed it. Thursday, we're getting through, as Gager calls it, bye week here on EST. We're coming back from the break. Kids still not in school, but you said university students going back today. Oily Sink also says squeaky conch for the win. That's kind of like an us thing, right? There he is.
There he is.
Yeah, well, I know you like to get feisty. Dash is here.
Now put on the funky bass music.
All right, take us out with
take
the
us
funky
out
bass music.
with the funky
Okay.
bass
Are we?
music.
We're cutting. We're done now.
We're gonna say goodbye.
Okay.
But we're going to say thank you to Luke Gazdic. We're going to say thank you to Ian Rapoport. Big thank you to everyone who tuned in, texted in. We appreciate it. And sticking with us, flipping over to the news stream when the system crashed earlier around 7 o'clock. Jay, great to see you again. And
see you tomorrow, baby.
See you tomorrow. Good stuff. He's going to be a staple on the morning show, I think. And YouTube Trev, say goodbye to the nice people and take us out with that nice little ditty.
Okay, yeah, goodbye, everyone. We had a great show today. And am I playing the music with us on the screen, or should
we're
I?
just gonna dance.
Okay, we'll dance a little bit.
Everybody
Okay,
dance.
yeah. So toodaloo, guys. See ya in the hangout, I guess.